Hello and a very warm welcome to what will be our penultimate thought for the day, at least for the foreseeable future, from Westbury Park. And today we're returning to the wonderful poetry of Thomas Traherne. Here's a verse from Scripture that we probably were taught a long time ago. Perhaps, though, we're encountering it for the very first time. It comes in Matthew's Gospel and chapter 19. Then little children were being brought to him, in order that he might lay his hands on them and pray. The disciples spoke sternly to those who brought them. But Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not stop them, for it is to such as these that the kingdom of heaven belongs." The idea of a rabbi being bothered by children was an anathema to a lot of the people following Jesus. But Jesus invites us into a state of mind where we understand that it's the openness and willingness to accept the new and the new blessing, represented by the laying on of hands by Jesus, that indicates that the children are in a better place spiritually than those who are condemning Jesus. Now, generally, we're still picking up the residue, aren't we, in church and all sorts of places, of children not being heard, but only being seen. There's a wonderful German painting from the mid-late 19th century that shows Jesus in a local, typically furnished room, sparsely furnished room, laying hands on children who are illuminated by his grace and his love, and shadowy figures of disapproving adults in the corners. How typical. You can feel the prickles, can't you? Thomas Traherne takes us right back in the poem, it's called The Salutation, to before we were born, before we were even thought of. He sees us as children springing into existence, springing into a new world that's so full of what William James, the philosopher, calls blooming, buzzing confusion, that we're just struck in a sense of helplessness, if you like, and wonder at what we might become, at who we are, trying to grow to understand that we are a person in this amazing world, a world where we are formed from a universe of wonderful creation. The idea that William Wordsworth had, that we come trailing clouds of glory. Traherne writes of his continued gratitude day by day for this childlike experience, saluting creation, giving thanks for his life and what he's able to do, expressing joy from what he sees of God in all around him, a sense that the light that enlightens everybody has come into the world and is shining through creation to illuminate him. It's splendor after splendor. It's wonder after wonder. And it's appreciated in a truly childlike way. But the confusion, the blooming, buzzing confusion of the young child can end in all sorts of places, not as happy or as wonderful as Treherne's experience. And it's a salutary lesson for all of us to be aware of children that we know in our care, in our families, of the need to provide nurture, the need to provide safety, the need to provide the right rather than the wrong deluge of sensory experience. And that's why forest schools, I think, are becoming increasingly popular. Why, for adults, the Japanese tradition of forest bathing, just being in a forest and soaking up God's goodness in creation, is also growing. It's time to go on this journey. At the end of the journey, the poem's relatively long. At the end of the journey, I'm going to leave you with a picture of the Thomas Traherne stained glass window. You'll see Traherne on the left-hand side walking in nature and being illuminated by the one who is the light of the world. It's a terrific, terrific piece of modern art and craftsmanship. So the poem is called The Salutation. These little limbs, these eyes and hands which here I find, these rosy cheeks wherewith my life begins, where have ye been? Behind what curtain were ye hid from me so long? Where was I? In what abyss my speaking tongue? When silent I so many thousand years beneath the dust did in a chaos lie, how could I smiles or tears or lips or hands or eyes or ears perceive? Welcome, ye treasures which I now receive. I that so long was nothing from eternity did little think such joys as ear or tongue to celebrate or see, such sounds to hear, such hands to feel, such feet beneath the skies on such a ground to meet. New burnished joys which yellow, gold, and pearls excel, such sacred treasures are the limbs in boys in which a soul doth dwell. Their organized joints and azure veins more wealth include than all the world contains. From dust I rise, and out of nothing now awake. These brighter regions which salute mine eyes, a gift from God I take. The earth, the seas, the light, the day, the skies, the sun and stars are mine, if those I prize. Long time before I in my mother's womb was born, a God preparing did this glorious store, the world, for me adorn. Into this Eden, so divine and fair, so wide and bright, I come his son and heir. A stranger here strange things doth meet, strange glories see, strange treasures lodged in this fair world appear, strange all and new to me. But that they mine should be, who nothing was, that strangest is of all, yet brought to pass.